Welcome to ABA Inside Track, the podcast that's like reading in your car, but safer. I'm your host, Robert Perry Cruz, and with me as always is my fabulous co-host.
Hello, Rob. It's me, Diana, taking the helm today. I'm here with the big mic. And where exactly is that you are, Rob? Because you're not sitting here next to me.
I am recording in a car.
What? Are you reading articles in your car?
I'm driving through rainy snow with all my kids in the car, reading articles and recording a podcast all at the same time.
Oh, man.
I am a professional, Diana.
Fishtailing all over the place.
Professional podcaster. I can do it. I can do it anywhere. No, my car is safely parked outside of a child's athletic activity. Stepped out to record because we realized that in our recording, well, in any case, we are recording our preview episode for the month of January 2024 for our podcast about behavior analysis and behavior analytic research, where we talk about the episodes coming out this month, as well as some other fun things. And one of those fun things is this month, we typically record these about mid-month so that folks who are subscribed on our Patreon feed can get them to end their month with to prepare for the new month. And folks on the free feed can get them to start the month with. But the problem there was that we all realized that we had a very busy schedule with lots of child activities, both you, me, and Jackie McDonald, who is not able to record today. We had last weekend. We spent pretty much the whole weekend doing the Pinewood Derby, which I think came up on one of the episodes we recorded, or we're making a guest listen to us talk about the Pinewood Derby. And then almost every other night, somebody has something to do, whether it's teach class or have a job or drive children places. And we realized that this was the last night we could get this in so that it would be able to come out on time. We haven't missed a podcast in quite a while, so we didn't want to miss one now. So we are recording this in between children's activities. And the only way we could do that was by doing it, one of us at home in the studio and one of us in a car. And that's me. So if the audio sounds terrible, well, you're welcome that we made a podcast for every week for many, many years. Thanks for noticing.
I think it just shows our humanity and that people will appreciate it.
We're very consistent. That's for darn tootin'. So in any case, we're going to start by discussing what episodes to expect from ABA Inside Track in the shortest of months, February.
And the way that you just pronounce it is the way that it's spelled in our calendar, where we keep track of episodes, is spelled February.
February.
Which is close, but not the usual spelling. But I think I like it more. Do you want me to tell people what they're going to hear this month?
Nah, don't bother.
What a tease. Okay.
What are you up to?
No. We have 3 full episodes planned for everybody to hear for this month. And the first of those is actually going to be a live episode. So
Listener Choice. We renamed it for
I'm sorry.
23/2024 to Listener Choice, which it is a live episode. Yes, it's a live video.
Well, it says here live episode, so that's what messed me up.
I think we changed it to listener recording.
No, I know.
Listener Choice.
It's just not changed in here.
Want to watch the videos after. And we said, you can come or you can watch the video. But since most people are doing the video, Listener Choice seemed a more apt title.
I agree. So
I'll call it that. Stuck recording in our cars, but we need to do the episode. Hey, you know what? It's better to be a Listener Choice than a live, because no one wants to see a picture of my head in this pitch black car. So it just looks like, what does it look? It looks like I'm filming that movie, The Vitch, which was filmed in like a cabin in the woods, and it was dark the whole way through.
Yeah, it does not. It's not good. It's not even. Wouldn't even be good a found footage movie. What you're giving us right now. It's like,
no, it would be bad.
Dark. It looks like you're in a cave, and like maybe there's gonna be a wampa coming up behind you any minute.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay, so it turns out it's not a live episode. Well, it is a live episode, but it's not the title of it. It's actually called a Listener Choice episode. And so our patrons voted on this last month, and they had a choice of several topics. And the topic that they chose, was burnout. We've talked about burnout a few times, but it is a recurring topic because I think, unfortunately, people continue to be burnout. So people wanted to hear some new research related to that. So we're titling this one very optimistically, Recovering from Burnout. And we have several articles that we will review in this episode. They include evaluating the relationship between compassion, perceived supervisor support, and burnout among ABA staff. That's by Austin and Fisk and published in Behavior Analysis and Practice 2023. Also, workplace conflict in applied behavior analysis, prevalence, impact, and training. That was written by Kazemi, Carter, and Davies and published in Behavior Analysis and Practice 2022. And finally, predictors of burnout, job satisfaction, and turnover in behavior technicians working with individuals with autism spectrum disorder by Novak and Dixon and published in the Review Journal of Autism and Developmental Disorders in 2019. So that's our number 1 episode for the month. If you are a patron, you can, like we said, join us and listen to that when it's recorded. And if you want to wait, then you can listen to it in the month of February, which, just like this preview, if you hear this preview and you didn't already listen to the episode live, then your only chance is going to be to listen to it as a recording. But it'll be fine. It'll be good.
Well, if you're a patron, you can see the video too and get a free CE.
Ooh. I don't know if that's a draw, the video, but the CE,
we
yes.
Up that room. It looks real nice now.
Okay. Fair enough. Up next for February, we are going to have a discussion of or on neurodiversity. And this is a topic that, again, we've touched on previously, but it's one that really has a lot of depth, nuance, and complexity to it. So we wanted to dedicate another episode to this topic. And like we say in the episode, would like to do some more in the future as well. But we have, I think we ended up just focusing on the 2 articles. Am I right, Rob? Yes, I am right, Diana.
Yes.
So we just had 2 articles that we discussed in this episode, and they Have a Voice, Are We Listening? By Venziano and Shea. That was published in Behavior Analysis and Practice 2023. And also Applied Behavior Analysis and the Abolitionist Neurodiversity Critique and Ethical Analysis by Graeber and Graeber. And that was also published in Behavior Analysis and Practice 2023. I do hope that you tune in for this episode, as I think it covered a lot of important ground that, like I said, we're not experts in this area, but it's an important topic for our field to discuss and be having multiple ongoing discussions regarding. So that's why we are diving in to that ourselves. And then finally, for the month of February, we were very pleased and honored to be joined by Dr. Noor Syed to discuss systemic and sustainable changes toward equity in our field. And she had several articles recommended for us that we reviewed or will be reviewing, and they include Toward Consistent Terminology in a Behaviorist Approach to Cultural Analysis by Glenn Malott, Andri, Benvenuti, Humanfar, Sandikar, Todorov, Torino, and Abreu Vasconcelos. And that was published in Behavior and Social Issues 2016. Initiatives to Address Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Within a Higher Education ABA Department by Hilton, Syed, Weiss, Tereshko, Maria, Marshall, Gadzunis, Russell, and Driscoll. And that was in Behavior and Social Issues 2021. And finally, she provided us with a book chapter. And the book, the chapter's title is Equity, Diversity, Inclusion, and Accessibility in Research. And that's by Syed, Mellon, and Christensen. And it was published in the book Research Ethics in Behavior Analysis 2023. And that's what we're going to do. Yeah, we have a lot going on in the month of February.
And if folks have not heard it yet, it came out right at the end of the month. But man, it takes a long time to prepare those. So I think we should milk it for 2 months, which is we also released our Winter Book Club, Acceptance and Commitment Therapy for Behavior Analysts by, I believe, Dixon, Hayes, and Belisle. And we record that with Jackie and with our book club guy, Alan Haberman, joined us. And we talked 2 hours on this relatively new book. It was a March 2023 release. So if you should have gotten a preview of that, kind of our initial thoughts in the free feed right at the end of January. But if you've not listened to it, you might want to say, you know what? I'd rather subscribe on patreon.com/ABA Inside Track and hear the whole 2 hours. If you say, no, a preview is all I want right now, maybe a year from now, I'd like to listen to the whole thing. Okay, great. It'll come out in about a year, sometime next February for you, if you'd like to wait till then. But you're going to miss all the hot takes.
It's going to be old news. Old news.
There'll be a new X for behavior analyst book that everyone will want to talk about. And you'll be like, well, I just heard about the last year's book. And all your friends will point and laugh. And you'll be fused with the idea that you're behind on your podcasts. Which is a terrible way to be.
I mean, the point of the pod is to stay up to date on research. So
I know. I just listened. I love people are like, I just listened to episode 1 and I loved it. And I'm like, we've had a lot of episodes since then. Yeah. I want to jump ahead.
I think we've grown and changed a lot since then as well in our thinking. So,
I mean, there certainly is. If you listen to all of the show, I bet there are some narrative threads that you get to hear more about or learn more about us and how the show changed, which would be fun. And it's not so old that we're doing, 70s research only, but still, I think you don't have to start at episode 1 to understand what we do. It's a bonus. We try to make it accessible every episode.
Yeah, I would do the current ones if I had to choose.
I mean, if you like the recent ones, you can do what I do. And I find a show I really like, and I go back and I listen to the old ones just to sort of get a feel for like what changed about this group of characters over the many, many years.
Yeah.
And then you get to the 2020 episodes and say, what did they do during the pandemic? How did they fare? Oh, bad, like everyone?
I see that pattern in when people order CEs. Actually, they'll order like the free ones and then the current ones, and then they go back and start at number 1. Like, well, that's good. I mean, that means that they like us, And I just did that with my current favorite podcast. Is I've listened to all of the current ones in the last year, and so then I just went back to the beginning. They started in like 2017, much like us. I think we started in 2016, but they've been around a long time too. And so I'm like back at episode 4 now, and I'm like, oh, they sound so young. But I feel like they're my friends.
Hold that thought about your favorite podcast, because that sounds like something we want to save to the errata section of the show, where we read emails.
I thought we were just free forming this.
No, well, it's part of the show. We're very structured with these few episodes. Yeah. So what is the name of this podcast that you are listening to?
It's called Red Handed. It is by 2 British ladies, and they talk about murder.
Oh, I feel like we built a bookshelf while you listened to that once, or a couch. We built something.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we did. That was not that great an episode, to be honest with you. Well, now I feel like I know them so well. So,
okay, your pals. It's like they were watching us, not helping at all build whatever it was we were building.
Yeah, they're my besties.
A bunch of jerks just came over to talk at us while we built something.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I don't honestly. If they were here, I don't think they would have been that much help.
Oh, really? That's not their thing? Podcast?
No.
Not really too handy with an Allen wrench?
I don't think so.
Well, I was recently reading a book talking about things that we're doing. I'm reading the novelization of My Neighbor Totoro, the classic anime movie, with our youngest son, who likes that movie, mostly because that was the movie he watched after leaving the hospital after breaking his arm, also during the pandemic. Another fun pandemic memory. So he was very excited to get the book from Santa. And we've been reading it. And at one point, the characters are setting out futons. And he said, "What's a futon?" And I didn't really know how to define it. I was like, it's like a couch, but a bed. But I did tell him a very long story about how we built a futon once on one of our early dates many, many years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And how we knew we were meant to be together because nobody swore or threw something or said, "This is a terrible date, I'm leaving." It was just really, really nice.
We were on our best behavior back then.
Unlike now.
We built a lot of flat pack furniture together.
Very true.
So much.
I can only hope that everyone finds a relationship where they can podcast in a car with their significant other. It's really that's the ABA Inside Track difference, I think.
Yeah. I'm so moved by that. I'm going to take your picture.
You're not going to see anything. I'm in a cave.
I know. Can I see you? Smile, Rob.
I think now I just. Yeah.
All I can see is how dirty your computer screen is. I'm going to try that again. Okay. Do you want me to do anything else in this podcast?
Oh, well, I was going to say, speaking of end of the month, it was recently your birthday. And if you noticed, there are some presents on the table.
Yep, I do know. I did notice that.
They're for you.
Okay, try again. Perfect. Perfection.
Podcast audio right there.
All right, I'm not opening these gifts right now.
Oh, you don't want to open them on there? Do you want to pretend you did? Do you want to pretend you opened them? Listeners, Diana is pretending to open her birthday presents.
Oh my goodness. It's what I always wanted.
What did you always want? Let's see if it was in there. We'll predict later.
I always wanted the things that I've already bought for myself.
Oh, great. Well, I didn't get the... Oh, wait. Actually, listeners, I did get Diana what she wanted because it also is our oldest son's birthday, born the day after Diana. And I thought I would get him one of those cool video game chairs that all the video games like. And Diana said, what I would like for my birthday is for you to not purchase that item. So mission accomplished.
Dear listeners, this was the most hideous chair you could ever imagine. So it's like pleather but it's like two-tone. So it's like racing stripes, and it's like black and white. And it's like a gaming chair. And I don't want it in my house.
Yeah. So much like behavior is not behavior if a dead person can do it. If the present does not exist, is it a present?
Yes, because I wrote to you, if all you get me is not buying this chair, it will be enough. And it is. And thank you. Thank you. I know you got the message.
I did not buy that. I did not buy that chair. No, I did also. There's other presents too. Look, they're right on.
It's fine, really.
Okay.
Okay. So if we would like to move into errata, we're
there. We're living in errata right now.
We're here, I guess. In errata, we really just mean like extraneous things. We know that it means errors. And so sometimes people write in to let us know that we have made errors in the show. But lately we haven't had any of those. We just had like some lovely emails from people. So I will just tell you about a couple quick ones. We had Natalie who wrote to us. Hi, Natalie, and said that she loves the show and she listens regularly. And she works in a district where they talk a lot about fresh starts and New Year's resolutions, which is super cool. And so she was listening to episode 151, in which we talked with Dr. Nick Green about healthy habits of the body. And so she said that she's going to talk to all of her staff about integrating those healthy habits into the work session, which is really cool. And then she brought up she asked us about job crafting, and she said, I want to learn more about job crafting. For example, she's very interested in integrating personal values like eating and being healthy, eating healthily, and getting steps in her day and things like that into her workspace. So do we know anything about doing that? And I said, oh my gosh, we actually have an episode all about job crafting, and it was episode 199, in which we interviewed Dr. Julie Sloviak and talked about her article on job crafting. So super cool, super timely. So if anyone out there is also like thinking about their New Year's resolutions and wanted to find a way to, make their job incorporate maybe some of their values and their new resolutions, then maybe you too would like to check out the job crafting episode, which is number 199. So you could check that out.
That also talked about burnout.
It did talk about burnout. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I'd love to hear what is a way that you've been increasing your step count these days?
Oh, Rob. Okay. So Rob's been playing this game on his phone called Pikmin, Pikmin. And it's like gamifies your step count. A lot of letters.
I don't think it's that many letters.
Pikmin.
Oh, you got it right. Never mind. Sorry.
Okay. So
dark. I can't see the spelling.
It's so dark you can't hear. It like gamifies your step count, and so you're supposed to hit another certain number of steps, and when you do, you hatch these little like alien looking like little creatures, and it's extremely gamified. So you really have to pick and choose what aspects of it you want to go for, I think. But Rob's been trying to get me to play this game for probably a solid year, and I finally agreed to join so that we as a family could work on increasing our activity level, like all of us. And it turns out that it is really fun. And I also want to collect all of the little alien Pikmin guys. So it turned out that he was right. And I did like the game, even though I tried not to engage in it for a long time.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're welcome. That's what I got for birthday. It's a fabulous new game.
Okay. Sounds good. And I'm just going to tell you about one other email as well, which is occasionally, and I won't name this person, but occasionally people write in to say, oh, I listened to X, Y, or Z episode and it said bonus episode in the front and I really enjoyed it, but there were no code words in it. Does that mean I can't get CEs? And unfortunately, that is true. That is the case because bonus episodes do not have CEs attached to them for varying reasons, but there is always a reason. So just so you know,
we don't necessarily talk about, we don't always talk about research. The content tends to be a little more free form, and rather than try to force it to be something that would be worth, that would be able to be CEs, we do it because it is a fun conversation to have or an interesting topic to discuss, but maybe not behavior analytic enough to fit into the requirements. And rather than just not do them, we do them because at the end of the day, we love when people listen and we will get CEs, but we mostly do the podcast because we like to talk about research with people.
Yes, exactly. So there's a variety of reasons, but we try to make sure to make that clear up front. So if it says bonus episode in the title of that episode, then it won't be for CEs. So I just wanted to help everybody make sure that they know how to navigate that.
Yeah. If it says episode blank number, then it is for fun and CEs. If it says bonus episode, it's just for fun. But it's always fun and worth listening.
Right. So the Venn diagram would be some of them are CEs, some of them are fun. Some of them are fun and CEs. And hopefully most of them fall into that category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have any
I think our listeners do. What?
Yeah, we don't have any episodes just for CEs that are not fun.
I don't know. Do we?
No, they're all.
That's never our goal. Our goal is really that those two Venn diagram areas overlap almost completely. But occasionally there are episodes that are not for CEs.
Mm-hmm. But some of them are full content. Like some of our live talks, we do those as bonus episodes. So if you'd gone to the conference, they would have been for CEs. But since you weren't there, you just get to hear the awesome content. But
exactly.
Great.
Yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
Oh, well, folks, if you want to write in and get your email read on the show, it's abainsidetrack@gmail.com. If you write us and say nice things, that's in a separate section of the show we don't record, where we just read your nice emails and say, what a great email. Thank you so much. And then we write back with those words. So it's just between us. But if you want something read on the show, feel free to write in about anything. But certainly if you have any expertise or knowledge on an area or something that we didn't discuss, or an article you think will be a good addendum to an episode we've done, those get almost all read on the show. So we'd really appreciate it.
But we do also appreciate when people can leave us reviews.
Oh, yeah.
That's super duper helpful.
One of those pretty soon. Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you can leave reviews. We love reviews.
Yeah. And it helps other people find the show, as Rob likes to tell you at the end.
Yeah.
All right. We're out.
All right. That's the end. That's the end of our preview. We hope you are looking forward to all these topics coming up in February.
February.
If
that's how you say it.
The patreon.com/ABA Inside Track. You might want to do it, because guess what's coming out real soon? That's right. It's another poll, because we got to start preparing for our spring book club and our spring listener choice episode. So still got time. We'll talk about them more next month, but probably want to join now. Get that book club, get that listener choice episode. You get CEs for all those for no additional charges, because you're a fabulous patron. We appreciate it. I've seen a lot of people joining as free members, which is awesome. I don't quite know how that works though. So, thank you for that. I think you should get the stuff a little early. I don't even know if you get the episodes early, but it's nice that people are finding.
I've not seen that happening. So
it says on the page. I'm not sure what it is, but it's nice to know people are finding us. It's always to be found. We've got all the episodes coming out. If you just want to get those when they drop, feel free to subscribe on any of your podcast players. Doesn't have to be on the Patreon one, but that is one option. And if you want to know what every other month we've been up to, that's on abainsidetrack.com. And again, emails at abainsidetrack@gmail.com. All right. That's the end of this preview, because I have to get inside and pick up one child so I can drive to the next child activity. But while I do that, and while Diana goes about whatever needs to be done in the studio to upload these files, we'll be back next week with the first of our full-length February episodes. But until then, keep responding. Bye!
Bye!